Warning, I swear a lot.
Hello everyone. Earlier today, and this will be yesterday for those of you watching this in the future, I put up a video just like normal, and I was suddenly struck by a thought. I was like, we must be coming up on the 1 year anniversary of the channel soon, right? I've been doing this for a while now, and I went back over my videos. Long story short, it was last month. It was August 1st of 2018 where Resident Evil 7, the first part, a game I never finished, went up online. Now, I thought this came as a surprise to me, and I thought about it, and I was like, I suppose I should do something, I suppose. I don't want to just kind of ignore the fact. It's been up for a year, I've been doing this all this time, and that's a pretty big deal. And I thought about it, I was like, oh, I could do a video, I was like, you know, thanking people and being like, the experience has changed me, and there's new content coming in the future, blah blah blah. And I thought about it, I was like, nah, that doesn't do a lot for people, does it, really? Not a lot of value in a video like that, purely because barely anyone watches this, so what's the point in thanking people who aren't there? My friends, I could thank, but I can do that in person. What's the point making a video about it right now? Maybe in the future. What I wanted to do instead, and much like a thank you video, this will probably reach no one and just fly by everyone's radar, but nevertheless, felt it worth talking about. I wanted to talk about ambitions, I want to talk about hopes, dreams, and what is involved in attaining them. I say, hilariously enough, as one who has not attained his dreams, but is in the process of doing so. But I feel like this is communal knowledge that we could all perhaps benefit from. Perhaps it will provide you with some insight that you know, hadn't previously considered. But over the course of this last year, doing this, and I have been doing Let's Play in general for about 4 years now, give or take. There have been some breaks, but we'll focus on this channel for the purposes of stuff. Been doing this for the last year now, and things have occurred to me while I've been doing it. Mainly, and it's not LP specific, this would apply, in my opinion, to any kind of personal ambition, be it drawing, writing, performing music, performing comedy, acting, whatever goal or dream you may have in mind. First of all, it's fucking hard. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be, you know, blowing any minds by saying that, but it's fucking hard. But it's hard in ways that people either don't quite understand before starting, or don't appreciate the nuances of until they actually begin. You get people and it's like, this mindset that I'm about to describe is necessary. It's good that people feel this way before they start. It is completely necessary. But it does show they haven't started yet. Which is the, man, I'm gonna fucking work at it. I'm gonna work at it every day. I'm going all full steam ahead, 100%. I will commit myself to this entirely. And once again, that's a great mindset. But what people people never quite realize how long they might have to do that for. You know, when you start something, you're always like, well, yes, this is going to be a long time and a lot of hard work, but I'll manage. But people always kind of think, or at least hope, that maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe even as long as 6 months in, something will just click, and things will just kind of work, you know? A break. So maybe not even like a big break, but some kind of foothold will be established, some kind of real tangible progress will have been made, a proper stepping stone for you to leap off of for the rest of your career, I suppose. But people don't realize just A, how long that takes, and B, how much nothing occurs before that. I have still not encountered such a thing. I've been, like, granted, a year is not a long enough time to expect something like that. But people don't realize what that actually is. An entire year of just working hard, non-stop, every single day that's possible. Another video, another recording, more editing, more compression, more processing, rendering, publishing, advertising. I'm woeful at advertising, I can't fucking stand it. If this shit ever takes off, I'm gonna pay someone else to do that for me, because I hate advertising. But people don't realise, are you gonna be committed? Are you gonna be 100%? Are you gonna be pumped every single day for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? And the answer is no. The answer is a resounding, unquestionable, irrefutable no. You will not be. Not by a long shot. There have been many, many, many nights where, after working way into the fucking wee hours of the morning, probably correcting some kind of issue with the compression, because that's what it always is, I swear. I finally set a video to upload. I crawl into bed, curl up under the covers and go, and all I can think to myself is, what's the point? Fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? What is even the point? It benefits no one. No one cares. Why? Why am I trying? What is actually the point? And the simple fact of the matter is the value of such an act, the value of such a sustained level of effort, of work, does not come from anyone else, or anything else. At least not until, you know, that fateful day, or days, or whenever in the future when things might actually come around for you. It's all... I'm having so much trouble trying to convey this. Like, I'm not particularly good at speaking from the heart, but I'm giving it a shot. There's nothing more valuable in this world, nothing, than your ability to keep walking forward, to always take another step forward, to keep working, even when you don't think there's any point. There is a point. You make the point. You make your own reasons for working on something like this. I mean, like, because to be fair, what, if you're trying to support a family or something, this is not the way to go about it yet. You'd, you know, have to go into real employment for such a thing. But when it comes to trying to attain a dream, trying to achieve a goal, no one gives that value but you. You are the one who gives that value. To call upon a particularly weird and random reference, near the start of the Buu saga in Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta says a line something along the lines of, "Tell me what matters more than your own strength." Now, admittedly, the context and the exact wording of the line may not exactly be applicable to most of us, because we're not the prince of an alien species that could destroy planets, but there is something to be drawn from this. There is an important lesson to be taken from this, and that is simply, what is more valuable than your own... What is more valuable than your own strength? What is more valuable than your own commitment, your own dedication, your own desire to keep moving forwards? Nothing in this world is more valuable than the fact that you got out of bed this morning. You work hard at whatever you do, even if you don't have some kind of creative, ambitious goal. Even if you just work a normal job to live a life, to live a happy life. That's valuable. There is value in that, and the fact that you get up in the morning to do it is valuable. There is nothing worth more. Nothing matters more than your own strength. I promise you. Every single day, if you take a step forward, that day was worth it. It may not feel like it. And when I say a step forward, I don't necessarily mean a stride, a skip, or even a normal step. Sometimes it's a fucking tiptoe forward. Sometimes it is a millimeter forward. But it's still forward. You've still moved forward. Things are still happening. You're still making things happen. You're not waiting for things to happen, you're making it happen. And that value... I guess the word valuable is the fucking keyword for today, isn't it? But that is the most valuable thing that you could ever do. That is the most valuable... It's just fucking, I don't know, man. When it comes to something like this, I personally feel that approaching it with intelligence and pragmatism is important and indeed key in many cases. You have to be clever about what you're doing to at least some degree. But at the end of the day, at the end of many days, there will come points where you have to think about what is the most logical and clever thing to do and ignore it. There will come so many times where you're like, it is not logical to continue doing this. There is no point. This is actively... Not only is this not doing anything for me, it is actively detrimental to many aspects of my life. And you should work to minimize those as much as possible. Do not shun your friends, do not shun your family, have backup plans, etc, etc. Do not gamble on your dreams. I would never recommend that. But there are occasions where you just have to be like, fuck it, I'm in this for the long haul. I've dedicated myself to this, I'm going to do it. You're not, like I said before, every single day, you're not going to be 100%. I'm not 100% every day, I'm not 100% most days. And the person who said that if you learn to do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, was one of the most egregious liars or the biggest, most stupid fucking moron who has ever lived, possibly one of the worst, I guess that's a philosophical statement, isn't it? One of the worst philosophers who's ever existed. They are completely wrong. So wrong. This is nothing but work. This is constant work. But you do it because you want to. Yes, this is stressful. Yes, this is time consuming. Yes, it is demoralizing to see it go nowhere. Yes, I sometimes wonder why I'm doing it. But then I realize the reason I'm doing it is because I've chosen to do it. I want to do it. This is mine. This channel, these videos, everything, all of this is mine. Now granted, those videos might suck. They might be terrible. Maybe no one likes them. Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't matter. They're mine. As selfish as it sounds, that is one of the most valuable things about this. It's something that's yours. This is you. You own this. You did this. You made this. This is yours. No one can take that from you. It is yours. And I can't think of anything that is worth more than that. And of course, I can't think of anything that is worth more than having something like that and working every day to achieve it. That is so important. That gives you a purpose. It gives you drive. And that... I will constantly repeat myself. I apologize. Also, the direction of this entire fucking speech is all over the place. As it would be. Because I didn't prepare this. Because I don't prepare anything. I just sit here and talk. That is the entire gimmick of this show, alongside playing stuff that's really hard. You know how it is. Important thing to keep in mind, I feel, it's an important mentality to keep, is that you have never failed, you have never lost at something like this until you stop trying. Of course, I'm going to be calling upon a gaming-based analogy to prove my point, because, you know, there's kind of a running theme here. But Dark Souls is actually an excellent example to demonstrate what I'm talking about. You see, in Dark Souls, for those of you who have not played Dark Souls, I'll give you a very brief cap-up to try and, you know, give you some context. But essentially in Dark Souls, the story of the whole thing is that humanity has been inflicted with a curse, the curse of undeath, where you can't die. Every time you die, you come back to life. Obviously, you suffer the stress and pain of dying. When you lose your will to live, you become hollow, which is basically a zombie. And you just can't die, you just live forever. It's not great. But the reason I bring this up is because hollowing is a thing that happens to every character in the game, or can happen to every character in the game, except for yours. And people were asking, like, why can't our character go hollow? You can go through stages of hollowing, but you'll never completely hollow out. You'll never go completely mindless. Which makes sense from a gameplay perspective, because you die a lot in that game, and it's real bad. But people were asking, like, how come the main character never goes hollow? It seems like a bit of a... you know... brain, work with me, man, come on. Seems like a bit of an oversight and a bit immersion breaking, but the fact of the matter is, perhaps not by design, but the concept of hollowing is real in the game, and it applies to you, and it can happen. And it can happen if you stop trying. When you quit the game, when you delete that character, when you refuse to keep playing, when you finally have rage quitted one too many times and you're like, I'm done, fuck this, I'm out, this is bullshit, you're hollowed out. That's it. You stopped trying. You lost. You had not lost. You may have died to that boss 20, 50, 100, 1,000 times. You never lost though. And that's not a fucking millennial snowflake, like, there's no failing. There's just going at it until you succeed. You can fail at things, but when it comes to stuff like this, the only failure is to stop trying. If you stop trying, you failed. Absolutely. You lost. You gave in. You gave up. End of story. And sometimes you should lose. Sometimes you should give up. There are things in life that you should give up on. For instance, if a romantic partner breaks up with you and has no interest in you anymore, you lost that. Deal with it. Give up on it and move on. There is value to giving up on things and losing at things. And if you, say for example, you started to pursue, I don't know, say you started a jazz band, right? And you're like, this is cool, I'm in a jazz band. And then 2 months later, you're like, I actually really don't fucking like being a jazz band. Yes, bow out of that. Lose that. Because it's not doing you any favours. It makes sense to drop things that do not benefit you. But if you want to beat something, if you want to beat Dark Souls, if you want to achieve if you want to be successful in a career path, if you want to take something somewhere, that's when you don't give up. If it's something that you can't bear to give up on, something you can't bear to lose, and the decision is still in your hands, like, it is actually up to you. Once again, going back to the relationship fucking analogy, because I refuse to I refuse to encourage people to pursue relationships that are over and done and will never come back. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want someone somewhere in the future to be like, Foreman told me I should never give up, so I'm going to keep chasing that girl for the rest of my life. No. No, drop that. That's bad. Don't do it. But if it's something that's within your control, do it. Don't give up. Never give up. Never surrender. My friends have seen both the good sides and the downsides to this mentality. On the one hand, I don't like to brag, but some of them have seen me play Smash and Tekken, and they seemed relatively impressed, and that's because I would play against my brother in those games endlessly, because I wanted to win. I wanted to win. I refused to give up. Now granted, I still can't beat my brother at Tekken, that's a work in progress, but Smash, I finally beat him at. I finally did it. I'm setting myself a new goal for Smash, because I love that game and I want to keep going. Just improving. But I never gave up. I always kept going, and as a result, I'm pretty good at those games, actually, surprisingly. I'm also pretty good at Dark Souls, depending on which game you're talking about, not Dark Souls 3. However, there are also downsides to this mentality. For instance, when Sweetman got Sekiro, and I went over to his house and he let me play it for a bit, my friends, unfortunately, and to this day I am very sorry I put them through this, had to sit and suffer whilst I fought against Goyaba and Mashtawa Aniwa and Lady Butterfly for a combined total of about 6 hours. Yeah, I may have ruined their evenings on those occasions, and I feel very bad for that, but those two are the perfect upside and downsides to that mentality of not giving up. Sometimes you should, or at least, maybe this is more applicable, this makes more sense, you should temporarily back down. That's not giving up. You're retreating, you know, you're recuperating, a tactical retreat. It's a smart thing to do, but I was also drunk, so there was no way in hell I was going to back down. I don't want to take up too much of your time, I merely wanted to take this opportunity, the fact that the channel has been around for approximately a year now, to discuss things, to talk about things which I feel are important, especially if you at home are thinking about doing something like this. I just hit the fucking pop filter, I'm so sorry. But if you're thinking about doing something like this, and maybe not even necessarily Let's Play, if you want to be an animator, if you want to be a musician, if you want to be a fucking stand-up comedian, if you want to be a singer, whatever, an actor, a writer, it doesn't matter. If you can start doing something towards those things, do it. Start. Just start as soon as you can. And it doesn't have to be something amazing. Just anything. Anything you can do to start doing them, you should. And it sounds so obvious, and I know what many of you will be thinking, because I felt the same thing when I've had the same thing said to me. I appreciate that sentence didn't make much sense. Let me elaborate. When they're like, whatever you want to do, just do it. And you're like, yeah, but I can't fucking do it because of this, 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 and that. Money often being the chief issue here. And indeed, money was difficult. It was hard to scrape together enough cash to actually get us set up to start Let's Playing. I can't even imagine what it's like to try and be a fucking musician. But money, if it's money you need, then there's only so much advice I can offer here, because that is a very difficult thing. You know more than anyone else what you can do to make money, because you know how your life is going. But if it comes down to personal issues, if it comes down to things like shyness, lack of certainty, like the feeling that you'll fail, being afraid of failing, or even apathy, even just being lazy, I'm guilty of that one from time to time. In fact, I've been guilty of all 5 of these things. That's my hand, how you doing? If these things are what's holding you back, and I appreciate things like depression can make these a bit more than just obstacles, as much as they become 7-foot walls. But all I'll say, and you don't necessarily have to take my advice on this, all I'll ask is that, you know, depression is kind of like falling in and out of the water, right? Sometimes your head is above it, and a lot of the time your head is down below it. You're just treading water for the most part. But find a moment when your head has broken the surface, and then go for it. During those times of clarity, those times of temporary relief, as it were, find something to do with what you want to do, and just go for it. Because you'll have the biggest roadblock to everything in terms of a passionate personal pursuit is starting it. Starting anything is the biggest obstacle. Do you know how difficult it is to start a channel? You just sort of sit there like, what do I do? What the fuck do I even call it? The name of my channel sucks. The only reason I picked it is because it is a fucking anagram. What's the term? Bah, you know what I mean. FPS, form and play stuff, you know how it works. For fuck's sake, form and fight stuff, you know how it works. But yes, starting is the biggest obstacle you will ever face. And that's why you need to take those moments when you have some motivation and do it. Because the moment you break through that initial barrier, it's a lot easier to keep going. You know, if you want to go for a jog, it's easier to keep jogging once you've started jogging. The thought of jogging before you've actually started is like, fuck that. That sounds shit. I don't want to do that. The only reason I even started doing it is because I had to take Storm for a walk, so I just forced myself to start jogging, and then I just kept going. You know, you just have to start. That's all there is to it. It's all there is to anything. I don't mean to preach at you guys. I don't mean to patronize. I don't mean to talk at you like I know more than you do, because I don't. There are many, many intelligent people out there, and I bet 90% of you, way smarter than I am, could probably do this better than me as well, this whole channel, even this speech. But there are many reasons why I started this channel, and one of those reasons is because I wanted to broaden my ability to help people. And that sounds really fucking gay, for lack of a better term, but what I mean by that is, it's a difficult thing to really talk about. Not because it's like personal, but it's just hard to articulate. The general mentality that I adopted round about last year, or the year before I think it was, when I was working in retail, and I just sort of, I don't know how it came about, but someday I came to this realization, and it was just, if you can help someone, if you can help someone without screwing yourself over, hell, if you can help someone and with like almost no detriment to yourself, why wouldn't you? What would be the point? What's the point in not helping someone, especially if they're a friend, but in general, like, if you can just help people, why the fuck not? Why would you not do that? And that's part of the reason why I want this channel to go somewhere, is because I want to be able to help people. I want to provide something fun for them to watch at the end of the day. I want to provide that, you know, that feeling of escapism, as it were. I want to, God, I want to fucking be able to do, oh god. I want to fucking be able to do charity streams someday. Something like that seems amazing. I would love to be doing those, but my internet connection... Oh god, I got gas. My internet connection is so fucking wank that there is no way I could do a stream. No chance. It takes almost 2 days to upload a 2 gig video. Streaming ain't gonna work. But I want to take this channel out there so I can help. I just help. I just want to be a positive force, you know? Something good for people. That's important to me. It's very important to me. And granted, I could just be saying shit in a you know, you don't have to believe me, but that is what I want to do. Maybe someday I'll get there, and if I do, then that'll be great. This whole fucking section's been a mess. Like, most of the previous speeches were, okay, they're a little inarticulate, but there's a point to get across. But that last one, which is funnily enough the most personal and like, I just want to help the world and really do what I can for people, and it's the worst fucking part of the whole video. I had no point and it went nowhere. I'm gonna leave it in, fuck it. Like, the whole point of this channel is to not try and make myself look better than I am. I want you guys, like, the whole purpose of A, the entertaining aspect, and B, just the personal aspect, is I want you guys to know me for who I am. This is me. This is who I am. This is how I am. I'm weird. I don't talk properly, but here I am. This is me. How you doing? Fucking start playing the fucking Greatest Showman song. But to round this off, because this really has gone on longer than I expected. I've been talking for about 30 minutes now. Yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year since I started doing this channel. This time last year, I had just been made redundant from my retail job. My girlfriend at the time had just broken up with me. I bought all this shit. I poured my heart and soul into working on this, and I've been doing so for the past year. And I just, like, you know, I was doing my best, but it was difficult to ignore everything. You know, things had happened. Things were continuing to happen. You know, these things were difficult to ignore. But I am perfectly happy with the fact that I've been working on this for a year. This is what I want to do. I want to make this work, and I'm going to make this work. Whether it takes another year, another 5 years, another 10 years. I don't care. It's gonna happen. That's all there is to it. Just try and stop me. Please don't try and stop me. This is already, like, the odds of me succeeding are like 2%. Don't knock it down by an additional %, please. It's already unlikely. But I should round this off now. If you actually sat through this fucking crap, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And you would be surprised how much it means to me, actually. Like, I don't express these kind of things very often, but it actually means quite a lot to me. I hope to God I can either continue to, or start actually, making content that is worth your time. Because you deserve whoever you are who stayed this long, you deserve the best. Not just from me, but I can't control what everyone else gives you. I can only attempt to give you the best of what I can do. And that's what I intend to do. But thank you so much for watching. Whatever happens next time, and it's unlikely to be this, but who knows? I don't vlog very often. It will probably be a video game. Whatever happens next time, and it will probably be a video game. Hope I'll see you there. Toodles. Goodbye.